Hello, friends and lovers. It's Haelian, pre-recorded, not even live on Twitch. Can you believe it right now? Anyway, it's been a long time since I did essentially an over-explain or even any kind of helpful video, probably, other than just doing the runs, you know? So I figured today we'd take a moment and we'd explain and talk a little bit about Beowulf. So Beowulf, really quickly, is kind of just all about loading cast in the shield and letting it explode at the end of your bull rush or your charge, you know what I mean? So you would do this. You can try to load the cast while you still have it charged, which I highly recommend getting used to. You let go, they explode at the end. All right, so that's Beowulf. So the first step, I think, and this is actually important if you ever use the aspect of Hera too, to make your life simpler while playing with controller, is to rebind the cast button. So this just makes life so much easier if you put it on something like left trigger, because then this means that we can charge this and just more easily load the cast very, very, very quickly too, you know? So definitely highly recommend, please do it right now if you have not before. In terms of which cast we're going to be looking for, the great thing about Beowulf is that a lot of them work. Pretty much all of them work, except like Demeter is kind of like terrible in a lot of ways, but they all work for the most part. But we're going to do something kind of I guess vanilla to try to get down the basics of it. So we're going to take Poseidon's cast, and I'm going to explain why as we go here, but let's try to get the run started. This video is definitely for people who are just kind of want to know a little bit more about the game, and I'm going to take my time and kind of explain through the thought process a bit more in depth, instead of the usual video where I'm probably just ranting about pizza toppings or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Fiery Presence tends to be a bit better with Beowulf on the charge effect. You can't backstab with the cast, so there's no point in that. I'm okay with taking high confidence here. We're actually going to switch this to God's Legacy because there's a very important duo boon we borderline have to get. Infernal Soul versus Stygian Soul. I mean, it's kind of just a question of will you get +1 cast from Chaos or not, and how much you're willing to gamble on that. If you're willing to gamble on that happening, go ahead, take Stygian Soul. Otherwise, just take Infernal Soul. Infernal Soul is just kind of safer. Stygian Soul is almost strictly better for a cast like Dionysus is, since you have to wait for the recharge anyway. Okay, why don't we toss on Extreme Measures 4. I'm kind of being arbitrary with some of this stuff. I just kind of like pick heat for no particular purpose other than to have a number, I guess, up there. All right, let's go. So we put on Poseidon's Keepsake. If you don't know, I really recommend, if you know what boon you want or which god you're looking for boons from, just use their Keepsake leaving Tartarus. Just do it. Don't think about it beyond that. That is just, if you're looking to just win, that is how you should be playing Hades, honestly. If you're looking to have fun, then do whatever you want, you know what I mean? But there's no reason not to play around. Sorry, there's no reason to really play around and just gamble on what gods you see if you're just looking to eke out some wins. Okay, Dreadflight is useless. It's a pretty terrible hammer across most things. Well, actually with Beowulf, it's not the worst, but it's obviously not what we want here. Your Bull Rush deals 400% damage to armor. It's pretty solid. After blocking a foe, gain +20% damage and move speed for 10 seconds. You could go either way on this one, honestly. I think I kind of like Breaching Rush a little bit more. So like I showed you, against Skelly, we're kind of just going to do what I showed. We're going to get like a couple bull rushes in between. So I'm going to load the cast as I'm looking for the enemy. I'm going to take my time in charging it up and then just kind of wait wherever we land best that I can in order to grab the cast back. I might like charge up a bull rush while I wait for them, because you can pick them up and load them while you're still charging it. Changing the button mattered a lot there. Okay, obviously we go for Poseidon, so we want Poseidon's Flood Flare. That is the cast boon from Poseidon when you're using Beowulf. And the main reason we want Flood Flare is, well, it's just it's a fine cast as it is already. That's step 1 for Beowulf. Step 2, it segues very easily into getting Mirage Shot, the Artemis Poseidon duo boon, which is just insane with Beowulf. The main reason it's insane, if you don't know, is that there is a overlooked glitch where apparently the second shot from Mirage Shot actually deals 100% damage instead of the stated 30%. Okay, we didn't get totally scrammed here. We did eventually get Flood Flare. Don't care about rarity. You know, don't be one of those people who, you know, like I'm thinking of old me basically, kinda. It's like I'm gonna roll to see if we get an epic boon or something like that instead. Don't get too sidetracked. That's actually not a terrible proposition, to be honest. It's not terrible. So Crush Shot, or Passion Flare, sorry, on Beowulf is actually really strong. You can see the damage difference is quite significant. It scales better with palms. I believe it even has a wider AoE. It's actually quite good, but it kind of goes against what we're trying to get, and Mirage Shot is just really important here. So Passion Dash is not a good dash boon. Most aren't really, so I think we just fill a slot here. You could roll, but I wouldn't recommend it because you got to think about what are you hoping to get from Aphrodite. I guess an attack boon would be okay, but it's not okay enough. Chaos is really helpful for any cast build. There's 2 different ways to increase your cast damage. And then also you got little stuff like attack damage, which definitely wouldn't hurt here as well. These are pretty bad. The top one does nothing for us. Undamaged foes take more damage is generally not that great, and we're not planning to deal special damage this run. It didn't really get that much better here. I'm okay with just getting some health out of this, I think. It's fine. We'll take the key so that we get an extra roll now, because we're quickly dwindling away. We got Inferno Bombs to deal with, so we gotta be cautious of that. Other supplemental boons we're kind of hoping to see. I mean, Snow Burst is fine. It's a good one to get. Ravenous Will is fine from Demeter as well. For Artemis, we kind of just want her attack boon. Speaking of Artemis. Okay. It's makes me a little nervous, I guess. Not especially, though. I just go ahead and Meg here. I was probably actually a bit early. That was a bit scary. Why not? Just speeds things up. I don't really recommend that, I'd say. We got the attack boon. No need to think any harder about it. We are now capable of seeing the duo boon. Now, taking Aphrodite's special kind of messes with things because now there's more duo boons in the pool that can get offered. You know what I mean? 34% cast damage for 74% more foes. It kind of goes against everything that I care about in this game, but I'll do it. Mostly because it's kind of funny. Okay, that's going to be a lot more dudes, huh? That's not that much cast damage, and it's kind of just a big time waster, I guess is one way to describe it. And so it's like, how much do you prize your time when playing the game? Okay. We got some bit of a health boost there. So palming the cast is actually quite important, honestly. Cast scale really well with palms because it's just like a flat damage bonus, and then that damage will get boosted by other things, potentially, such as Mirage Shot. So you really want to get some early palms going on. I don't think I buy this, even though it's quite nice, I guess. But we plan to go to the shop here, and we want to be able to afford an Artemis or a Poseidon boon if they're offered. They are not offered. Like I said earlier, Demeter's pretty good, but I think I'll actually skip her this time, namely because right now we have 3 boons that can each be palmed. I don't really want to add a 4th boon that can get palmed, and thus potentially be denied palming the cast. Maybe I should have just taken the +1 dash there. Well, we're taking it now. The rolls seemed okay, though, I guess. So we'll take Hermes. We were hoping for Hyper Sprint. It's just Hyper Sprint is a great mobility boon from Hermes, and then if you can segue that into the Rush Delivery boon from Hermes, which is plus a certain percentage of damage based on your movement speed, it's just crazy. If you're looking for big numbers while playing, that's pretty much always the way to go. Okay. I'll check the trove. $150, huh? There's a palm for us. I don't often check troves in my fun runs. It's kind of just usually unnecessary for myself. If I'm playing high heat, then I don't really have time to check the troves, so they kind of don't really have a big place for when I play the game, unfortunately. I doubt you get the enemy bonus occurs during the treasure trove too, but maybe. Okay, we need that palm. Take this time to ask your questions in the comments, either about the run or the game in general, or about my shoe size, or whatever you want. If you got any burning questions. No, I do not have any information about Hades 2. Oh, I should have baited. Nah, I should have baited you to ask about it. Never mind. I have lots of information about Hades 2. All of the information. Oh, right. So many enemies here. Chaos ruining it for us. In terms of boons we're looking for after Mirage Shot, I mean, it's kind of like whatever. It's really not a big deal. There we go. There's our first palm finally. And that curse is over too. You get quite a bit of money. Palm and something useful. Very good. So palm, flood flare now. Buy Poseidon. Get off from Mirage Shot. Easy game. All right then. The game kind of plays itself now, maybe. Like, you're probably going to see poor Electo here just get phased over and over, you know? More Artemis boons, I guess, are kind of what we want, mostly. And those are going to get offered naturally now that she's in the God pool anyway. I love that. That's like a little flood flare minor visual glitch where it sticks on the screen when the screen fades to black like that. It's very cute, isn't it? So now we kind of don't really need to wear God keepsakes. We already have Mirage Shot. A lot of people would probably say, what about like Mom Palm there? And it's just kind of, it's a win more trinket is the big thing. Like, you'd probably only want to put it on if you're already winning or if you think you're going to win. And it kind of becomes unnecessary. So every 4 chambers, I have a currently 1 in 3 chance of hitting the cast. And so it's kind of like, it just doesn't give you a lot of agency over the build, so I'm not big on it. I know I just put on Charon's keepsake, even though I can't even afford anything, but the hope is to afford things soon. For cast builds, it's just really strong if you're able to pick up an extra cast, or even better, the cast damage bonus. What's that even called? Braid of Atlas, I think? I do believe it is. Something like that. It's 50% more cast damage for like 14 chambers. It's ridiculous, really. It lasts a crazy long time, and you can just feel the effect immediately. So what do we want from Hermes here now? Not a whole lot. In fact, I might say it's already not worth rolling. Because we already took +1 dash. We can't get the big combo, so I don't know, give me some dodge, I guess. Attack speed would not do anything in this instance. I feel pretty safe, so I'm going to do the money. There would be nothing wrong with taking health at this point, though. Also. Okay. Ding. So how many casts do you load in between each Bull Rush or Dragon Rush, as it's called with Beowulf? It kind of depends on I'm kind of getting a feel for how chunky the enemies are as I go, and getting a feel for how much damage the cast does for us. And it kind of just depends. Like, against a boss, you just load all 3 a lot of the times, right? But we're pretty powerful already. We're ahead of the curve for sure. So like 1 at a time and just kind of spreading it around, killing the enemies around us with 1 cast at a time seems to work quite well in this instance. So that's how I'm kind of determining it. Now, I denied the trial, the double god trial, in order to take a palm. It's just, the palm is probably going to be more important than whatever boons we'll get from Aphrodite and Poseidon. This extra damage on the cast is just really good. Now's about the time where I care a lot less about palms because of the diminishing return. We're just going to take the shop. We have money to spend. There's kind of no need to not take it. Dionysus I'm not especially interested in. I'd hit the attack. That's okay. Well, we're forced Dionysus now. It's never actually worth fighting Charon. But for y'all, I'll do it. For y'all, I'll do it. I think we only have 20% forced overtime, so it's not that bad, I think. But our max health is very low. Okay. Kind of a good test of our metal here, to some degree. Uh-oh. So the kinds of boons, like Aphrodite especially, would not provide us with very helpful boons. I think in that trial. Poseidon, you could get things like, I mean, I guess there's like Breaking Wave, but utilizing it via the cast is a bit weird, I'd say. And there's like Razor Shoals and stuff like that, and it's all just very, like not amazing. Also, trials are kind of annoying, right? So we're probably not getting a mini-boss here in Asphodel, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Like I said, we're kind of cool on the boons now. I mean, we'll take more as they come, but it's not like I need XYZ to survive now. Another palm, lovely. I'm kind of looking to see if there's a well, especially since we have Charon's keepsake on. You really want that. We have so much money after fighting Charon, we can probably do this, and maybe we'll get a palm and a boon offered, or health and a boon, or health and a palm. Just like things to do with our money. Okay, so the dash is just not great here, really, because it might kind of mess with what we're trying to do. It's not bad, it's just not great. It might knock enemies away and just kind of cause a problem, I guess is how I would describe it. Razor Shoals, I would say, is usually better than Typhoon's Fury. So you kind of got the 3 boons that, tier 2 boons with Poseidon that work with knockback. You got Razor Shoals, you got Breaking Wave, you got Typhoon's Fury. You should probably be taking them in this order most of the time. Breaking Wave, then Razor Shoals, then Typhoon's Fury. Oh wait, and you also got the boss damage one. That one's probably the lowest, honestly. I think. It's kind of close. Breaking Wave is just kind of bonkers, so that one always comes first. Razor Shoals isn't bad either. And then Typhoon's Fury and the wave breaking, wave pounding, the boss one, is kind of I'd say. Kind of Alright, looks like 2 casts at a time is enough damage. I have a video all about Hades glitches here somewhere on YouTube. So if you want to know more about like the Beowulf Mirage shot thing that's going on, you can check that out. It also gives you more info in general about some of the oddities in Hades. Bum, bum. Okay. Looking pretty good, huh? Think we'll be alright. Think we'll be okay. Let's see, top questions I get. Why don't I pick up the gems? This save file is maxed out. It's not my original save file, but it is maxed out. So they have no purpose for me. I'll take some move speed. Foes from behind is useless. Hydrolight's probably not going to be very helpful. I'm just going to leave this keepsake on. It's fine. 'Tis fine. You could take Hydrolite if you were nervous. I mean, it is Elysium. We have plenty of money, so you could definitely take it. Even if you're at full health, it's just, especially with Charon's Keepsake on, it's pretty strong, right? So, wouldn't be wrong to take that. Okay. Armored Witches, very nice. Whoop. Come here. Come here. Okay. Minotaur Rush is really bad. Don't bother. I think I might have some videos of me trying to get it to work, but it never really works. Dashing Flight, as far as I can tell, like, it doesn't really, it's just not good, really. It's kind of hard to get to work, even if you were using our special. So Sudden Rush, it's gonna be. Sudden Rush is quite nice. Well, we're probably not gonna need money, so I guess we do palms. Now is definitely the time where it's just like, okay, no more palms, please, probably, but you kind of want the palms early on before you get too many boons. So that's why I prioritize them early, and then I let the boons flesh themselves out later on. You know what I mean? We'll take a Eye of Lamia. It's cheap. I'll even take a nail. I wouldn't normally buy that, but I'll take it. We still don't have our fourth god, do we? That has money. I'm not gonna bother, though. You get the weird palm duo boon. Heart Rend doesn't do anything because we don't apply weaken to enemies. Like, I don't use the special, right? Ares isn't great, but I'll do it. I'm not gonna do... Oh gosh, what's that called? Arabescate. The Arabescate. No. There's no reason to take that risk. When do you take Arabescates? I feel like they're almost a more for fun thing than a strategic thing most of the time when they're taking. I think when I do take it is on a somewhat high heat run early on in it for like a big wad of max health maybe. Those are like the biggest times that I can think of that I'd want to take an Arabescate. But especially at this point in time, you really don't want to. Blade Dash is fine. It's not that special. I'm not a fan of the call, though, poisonally. You got the money for the shop? Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely don't want that swap. That swap's kind of bad. The AoE effect is quite small. Hunter's Mark is a really strong boon. Clean Kill is not overrated, maybe, but it's just not as good as it makes it sound, probably. Even at common, the Hunter's Mark has to be the choice. We have money, so we'll buy this. You could probably go with any of those. I'm still just... Aphrodite's just not gonna offer us much here that's helpful. I think I'll skip it even. What can we get from Aphrodite here? It's like Sweet Surrender is not going to be useful. I guess different league for damage reduction. It's like the only thing I can think of from her. There's a plus max health one, but I don't know how much value we'll get out of that at this point. And we don't really need the defense, right? So doop doop ba doo 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 doop boo. Lovely. Okay. We'll do Hunter's Mark now, I think. Here we go. This is what we've been looking for. Thank you very much. We'll take Patty just to speed things up because we don't really need money, right? And we have 2 Eye of Lamias, I guess. We'll take the Attack Jerky. It only affects your attack, not your special. I guess I'm kind of being conned into taking Aphrodite now. I just really don't think we need the max health, right? More boon equal more fun, maybe? Maybe someday. Speaking of which, I was thinking of showing a mod that I only just recently heard about, where it increases the length of a Hades run significantly. Like there's just a lot more chambers in each biome. So obviously you get like way more rewards and everything, right? I heard it's pretty goofy. If you're interested in seeing it, let me know. Let me know. What do you got? Dying Lament's alright. Sweet Surrender does nothing, really. Right now. Probably don't need that money. Weren't we? Common question, why do they sound like kitty cats? I believe because the bigger ones are kind of meant to seem as lions or something like that. The chariots and the lions, there's some kind of correlation there. Oh my god. Yes, please. We have a little bit of money. Whatever, we'll just get max health. Alright, this is gonna go well. Hopefully it'll go quick. I've probably given this tip a lot, but if you want to quickly make sure that Meg hits both of the heroes, whether you have Extreme Measures 3 on or not, at the start of this fight, tap up on your D-pad or keyboard, not your joystick, on your D-pad, immediately use Meg after hitting up, wait like a second for her to start the drop, and then you can start moving, and she always drops it perpendicular like that. So she always drops it perpendicular to the way that Zag is facing, so kind of like she went east to west because we were facing true north or whatever, right? 3560. I kind of messed that up. Good night. All right. Say hello to the red shade. I never finished discussing why this isn't... Well, I guess I only vaguely began the discussion. Why I'm not using my original save file. I guess to kill the time here. What else we got here? Sure. And now we'll swap to the Hades Keepsake. Mostly just for fun. It's totally unnecessary. For 99% of players, I'd recommend just using either the collar or the tooth or the acorn for safety, especially against the Extreme Measures 4 here, but we've played enough to know that we'll be all right. What was I saying? Oh, so in Hades, the more runs you have in your administrative log, essentially, wins, losses, whatever, the slower the game saves in between each room. And the game saves between every single chamber. So every single chamber, the more runs you have, the slower it's going to load the next chamber, essentially.
Should check this way.
So for the sake of speedruns, I have to reset the save file, you know, basically as often as possible to have the lowest load times. I mostly do, if I do speedruns, I usually do real-time speedruns, meaning not using the in-game timer. Just my preference. Okay, so doors and sticks. So it's complete RNG where the sack is. It is close to about 50% to get it on the second door. I did have a meg for this. Oopsie. Where are you? Got him. It's about a 50% chance to get it on the second door, and if that doesn't happen, then the odds go up for it to be on the third door. You cannot get it on the first door. Heartrend does nothing. It is impossible, hard-coded. Don't believe any weird rumors. Or Benny down the street who said they got it that one time. So the only reason I do the mini boss doors first is generally because they're actually kind of easier and they're definitely faster. I feel like they're actually easier than the regular rooms for me. The regular rooms just take a longer time. You're at the mercy of the traps for longer. Once you get to know the mini boss as well, they just don't pose a major threat. It is mostly a speedrun habit, to be honest, though. And not so much a Like, always do this. It's not a big deal. It doesn't increase your odds of getting the sack or anything like that. It doesn't matter. None of those things matter. There is, yeah, sometimes I see threads on Reddit. It's like, I take health every time, and I always get the sack every time I take max health. It's like, it's just a coincidence, I'm afraid. Just a coinky dink.
It's no use.
Unfortunately, because we did not get a 2-sack, our braids, aka our cast damage from the Charon keepsake, they're falling off. So we're not gonna have those for the Hades fight. That's kind of a big deal. I mean, we'll be fine. But on, you know, like a more challenging run, that would actually be a big deal. Because now all we have is this Cyclops jerky to help us out. Sure, we'll increase our PP.
Just a sack for my boy Cerberus.
What do we got here?
The passageways.
Could Ares help us more than a palm? I doubt it, but... Urge to kill plus 16% cast damage? Sure, why not? Sure. Let's do it. 8 cast, level 8 cast, Mirage Shot, doubles the damage. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. Anything about Hades in particular I can say? There's like a lot to say, but there's also little to say, really. If somehow you don't know, the skulls that he throws at you will cause you to take double damage while they're lodged, so take your time, cool off. On EM4, he always spins the spear twice when he's doing that, so you keep that in mind. Not on EM4, it's always once in between. You can simply dash through it with the right timing and not get hurt, even though it looks like we're in the middle of it. We have the greater call up, so I guess we'll blow it here. Well, I kind of flubbed it. Oh! Got sniped right there, huh? Gonna save Meg. I don't know, it could do phase 3 here. Phase 1 is often actually the hard part on high heat, because the ads just pose a really big threat. Some people aren't aware of this, but when you have Extreme Measures 4 and you cannot hug Dad through the lasers, he has a knockback effect that prevents you from staying in hugging distance. So you'll have to hug your dads elsewhere. Serby! I tried to block, but I actually don't really know if you can block Cerberus like that. Okay. Oops. Father? Meg? Almost got him really quick, huh? No, Daddy, you can block through this. But it's not easy. Dunzo. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Not bad. You use the god keepsakes. I mean, we got a little lucky, I'll admit it. Mirage Shot and Tartarus. There may have been essence of luck there. But trust me, I mean, this stuff, once you abuse the god keepsakes and you know how the boon system works a bit more in depth, this is pretty easy to accomplish every single run, you know what I mean? Reflexes only play a small role eventually. So what was the big deal here? Sudden Rush was big. Mirage Shot, obviously. The attack was not that big of a deal. The cast was important. Hunter's Mark was okay. We got the cast damage boost from Chaos. Nothing else really mattered that much in totality in the run, I think, there. All right. What do you guys think? I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know. Like I said earlier, if you got more questions about the game, the build, whatever you want, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to respond to you and help you all out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right. Well, can I have that? I'll pay the fish tax for y'all. Didn't even notice it at first. Oi. Sturgione. We are moving. Oh, we're falling back. We appear to be falling onto Ash Twin for some reason.